All right, today I'm going to go over the farmer's carry, farmer's walk, whatever you want to call it. Now, probably the most common place that you've seen this outside of a weight room, if you followed maybe by chance over the years of World's Strongest Man or like strongman competition, you see people carrying extremely heavy objects, whether it's like in a cage type scenario, like a deadlift, like trap bar, or independent weights, right? Strongman carries refrigerators and silliness, right? So if you look at that competition, that's the manifestation of doing it properly, right? You will see people traps engaged on farmer's walk in a highly competitive scenario, right? Like the World's Strongest Man or the Arnold Strongman. So keep that in mind, being that it's sport, okay? What we're gonna do is talk about how you should train that, right? So again, it's like the home run. We don't practice home runs. It's all those practicing of good swing that manifests itself into lots of power and home runs. So as far as this is concerned, I bring that up first because that's the biggest mistake when it comes to doing the farmer's carry, whatever it may be, is being in a shrugged position, okay? We want to get spinal stability through our spine. We don't do it from an elevated shoulder position or elevated scapula. We want to engage our lats. Okay. We also don't want to have our elbows bent. The biceps will never be stronger than the posterior chain. So what we actually want to do is flex into it, which would flex our triceps, right? That engaged tricep position will then work downhill to engage the lats. Okay. When we have an engaged posterior chain tricep lat, what we do is now we have a position to stabilize that pelvis. Right? I don't want to be working for tips in this anteriorly tilted pelvis. What we want is to be tall into the ground. I would say long is strong when it comes to carrying objects. Okay? So I want to be elongated through here. I want this neutral chin too. Right? I don't want to fight like this. I don't want to wrestle like this. I don't want to shoot like this. And I don't want to lift the weights all curled up in my neck. Okay? So I always make a letter L. Stay nice and long and strong. Long through the arms, long through the hips, all right? And it's weird because we grab this weight in our hand, we want to kind of pull it close to us. Do the opposite. And you'll see here in a second, and also you see like, for example, like someone walking on a tight wire where they're holding that long beam. It's actually quite heavy. So if you think this person's in a shrugged position, when I go to step, I have to shift my hips to get my foot to go in front of me. Right? If I have long arms, what I can do is I can sit back, just slightly sit back, and I can glide and reach. The path of my hips don't do this to get onto alignment. Okay? So that's the problem with the farmer's carry. You see people in this waddle position, the foot's going in front of each other. Okay, we don't want that with the rucksack. I don't want to be fighting on a balance beam. Right? I don't run feet in front of the other. Okay? What I want to do is allow this weight to force a contraction so I can glide. Okay, so an example here with weight, I have two kettlebells, both of them are 32 kilograms. So I have about 150 pounds, 160 pounds or so. Again, not in a shrugged position, the opposite. Engage my lats, right? Toes are into the ground. And now when I step, I can glide as opposed to, right, my lats are engaged. If I'm in a shrug position, right, I'm in a waddle. Okay, don't want to be in a waddle. So it's one of those things I say, you know, you're hunting, sneaking through the woods, right? Shoulder blades down, and now I can glide. Forward, backwards, the whole thing, okay? Not in a shrug, not in a bent elbow position. Neutral neck position. If I change direction, I want that neutral neck. One of the last things I'm going to talk about is grip, right? If I want to engage my posterior chain the best of my ability, okay, I don't want a loose pinky. I don't want to be holding onto this kettlebell, pinky not in, not engaged. Get your pinky engaged the best we can. Now I can set back on that posterior chain with tight pinkies. Okay, pinky is a neurological activation for your posterior chain. In the same way your big toe is for your glute. Okay? Really get a good handshake. Say, whether I'm holding a baseball bat, I'm holding a firearm, okay? My recoil management starts with my hand. Same on this, if I got loose hands, I'm always gonna be trying to get grip. I'll never be able to engage my traps and lats, right? And then I'm gonna get a lot of lower body wobble as I'm moving through the farmer's carry.